Well, it looks like the cat's out of the bag. That's something that was said to me this week. And it had its own meaning at the time. But that phrase, the cat's out of the bag, has constantly been on repeat. And so I meditated on it, I slept on it, and I had this dream that I was at work and I was trying to deliver a package to a client. And no matter how I tried to get out the door of work, there were different people, different customers coming up to ask my help or, chat a little and say, hey, how you doing? And I could see the doorway that I was supposed to get out so I could deliver this package. But I couldn't quite get out the door. And finally, someone looks down and says, oh, yeah, you have something to do. And I finally said, as if I was out of breath, yes. And then I bursted through the door. And then all of a sudden, everybody in and around me finally recognized that I had something to deliver. Like something before in the dream, it seemed like only I could see the package or the items that I had to deliver. That no one had taken notice of the fact that I was carrying this message, this burden, this weight with me. And I felt like it needed to be given to someone or made aware of someone, someone was waiting for this package. And maybe not a burden, maybe it is a burden for the collective, but what I mean, it was a big item to deliver. So it was technically a burden in the sense that it was heavy to carry. And everybody in the store, in the building, couldn't see that I was carrying something and just trying to make my way through the door. And finally, right at the end, when I was closest to the door, someone finally recognized that I was carrying something. And then I was like, yes, I have to go. And I burst through the door. And then it seemed that everybody in the store, out in the city, on the road, could finally see that I was carrying this bag, this message, this item that needed to be delivered to someone, but what I read it as released upon the world. So, collective. The cat's out of the bag. Whatever you've been holding on to, whatever you've been waiting for, whatever you've been tight-lipped about, I don't think that it can be held back any longer. I mean, we have this new moon coming up on Friday. So, there isn't a whole lot of holding back at this point. So, my name is Angel. This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. If this is your first time with me, I really appreciate you stopping by. We're going to go ahead and delve into this opening message of the cat's out of the bag. And I'm not really sure why that saying resonates, but it does. And I really feel like the collective has been holding on to something. Maybe there's some sort of success or victory or accomplishment that you have experienced, but you have dulled your shine for whatever reason. Why do I look... I was going to say, why do I feel inclined to look at the bottom of the deck? And I got veiled. I literally just said, there is some success or some accomplishment or something that you've overcome, but you're dulling your shine. You're not allowing people to see this accomplishment that you've made, this decision that you went through, this moment in time which you stood your ground and you were the strongest you've ever been. You're hiding it behind shrouds and shadows, and you're veiling it so that people can't see the accomplishments that you've been doing, how well you've been doing. And now I understand some collectives will be like, well, that accomplishment is for me. It's not for anybody else. Yes, that's true. But I'm getting the inclination that for some, take it as it resonates, if someone says, hey, I heard that you finished, you finally graduated from college and you're like, yeah, it's not a big deal. No. Don't dull your shine. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that you need to stand on a soapbox and announce to the world that you've accomplished this thing. Or maybe you are I just heard a shopaholic. Maybe you're a shopaholic, and it's kind of like a running joke where your friends are like, "Oh, what new gadget did they buy today, or this week, or what new thing did they purchase today?" But like, you tell your friends, "I actually didn't buy anything this week or this month because I'm saving, because I have something bigger in mind." And people are like, "Good for you!" Like, they know it's hard for you to nip that habit, but you're making accomplishments. Anyways, those may not be the best examples, but you would know what I'm talking about. The cat's out of the bag. Whatever that you've done, whatever decision that you've made, whatever accomplishment you've been trying to hide, whatever truth that needed to come to light won't stay buried for long. And here's the thing. The last reading that I did, I said the truth will never stay hidden for very long. The truth will always find its way to the top. So this veiled card, you may be, oh my God, I pushed the card up a little bit. We have soulmate underneath it. So for some of you, I'm not gonna be tempted to look at the card underneath the soulmate. So we have veiled and soulmate. So whatever decision that you've been making, whatever action you've been taking, dulling your shine, maybe you had the strength of character to reach out to a person that you've had like a particular shine for, and you finally told them how you felt. That is no small step. That takes a lot of strength and vulnerability to put it all the proverbial cards on the table to say, hey, this is how I feel, and I would love to see where this could go if you feel the same way. It also is it also may be that moment, that dulling your shine. Maybe you've realized that you are intrinsically connected to someone, and now that you've had that realization that this person is your person, now you see their name everywhere. Now you hear songs that remind them of you. Now you see repeating numbers or images that remind you of them, or maybe people even ask you about them. There's something about, yes, now the cat's out of the bag, but also now that the floodgates have been released, you can't stop the flow. Now that some information has come to light, some truth has come to light, some decision has been made, people found out how you succeeded or made a certain decision, or you've realized that this person is your soulmate or your great love, or you've said something. Now that you've crossed that threshold, there is no going back. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube once you've squeezed it. You know what I mean? Like, it's all out there in the open. So, okay, let's just go with that. And here's the thing. I have a set of my foundation cards that I'm going to start with, but I wanted to talk about the pre-shuffle that I did when I was meditating. So I have a different foundations deck that I use. A lot of the time you'll see that the cards that I use often don't match the backs, is because I will take oracle decks that mean a lot to me, and I will energetically pick the cards, blank side down, which ones I feel like need to be in a deck that I'm creating. So this is one of them. And the cards that I got for today were, in the order that they came out, was Whale, Breach. Now, right away, this made me think, oh my goodness, this is the truth coming to the surface. This is all of the facts. Pardon me, my throat chakra is getting tight. Which makes me believe that whatever came to light, whatever truth breached the whatever truth breached the surface, came to light, sprouted from the ground, cat's out of the bag. Once the floodgates are open, they're open. It was something that was maybe, sometimes it could be admitting that you have a particular substance issue. Maybe it's admitting that a relationship didn't work out. Maybe it's acknowledging the fact that you've made a really important step in your life, whether or not it is schooling, moving, states to take a job, having a big surgery that would increase the quality of life for you. It could be a lot of things, but now that that truth has come to light, it can't be put back in the bag. People are going to ask you about it. The second one that came out was the card grounding. And grounding, what made me feel like is at this moment when my throat chakra was like, oh gosh, it's getting tight because the truth is coming out, and it's both daunting and exciting to have everything out in the open. It's all aired out. The floodgates are open. Cat's out of the bag. All of those, metaphors. While at this moment it may seem unmanageable, or maybe even at sometimes chaotic or unpredictable because now the truth is out there, in reality it is actually grounding, because it feels like it took more effort pretending things were okay, or it took more effort to downplay an accomplishment that you're really proud of than to just be like, it is what it is. And maybe in that first round of telling people or speaking on your truth feels a little uncertain or chaotic, or maybe even you feel like you're out there with no clothes on, like you feel naked to the world. But it actually is grounding, because now you don't have to pretend. Now you don't have to hide. Now you don't have to downplay an accomplishment that you feel so proud of. After that was perception. This, not only will this change how you perceive the world, I said how you perceive the word. Interesting. Take that as it resonates. Maybe your perception of the word perception means like, oh, fantasy. No, perception is being able to view something with an honest eye and be like, no, this is what it is. This is how I see it. It's not fantasy. This is simply how I see it. And your perception about your accomplishments, about your hardships, openly admitting and not being afraid to stand naked before the world and say, I am human. I have both good experiences and I have experiences that are difficult. That doesn't define me. It is what helps shape who I am, but it doesn't define me. And the last one was Vision Quest. The truth that came out, whether or not graduating from college, having a large surgery that would improve your life path, taking a job and moving out of state for that job, the ending of a relationship, the beginning of a relationship, whatever it is, like I said, it might feel chaotic. It might feel a little uncertain, and it might make you feel like you're naked to the world. But I promise you, this beginning is actually going to be the beginning of one of the most grounding times for you personally. And Vision Quest is being on a deep spiritual journey of your own. This will lead you to some new enlightenment, a new discovery about yourself. That's what I got for my pre-meditation. And the abridged version to all of these cards was, cat's out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. So that was the intro. Let's get into the cards now. So what does Spirit want us to know for the foundation? I'm going to be tapping into a very specific collective. Now, again, my intro channel can be its own reading. It could be a short little mini read for someone, and that resonates, and maybe these cards afterwards, maybe they don't line up, maybe they do. Only you will know. But don't make it fit. I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. Do not do mental gymnastics to make the message fit. If something in this reading does not fit, it's probably not your reading. And it might be meant for someone else. But that's okay. I do readings at least once or twice a week. Maybe there's a little nugget of wisdom in one of those other ones for you. So you'll know if it's meant for you because it'll pull on a heartstring. Okay. So let's see. Okay, we're going to split the deck and we're going to pull from the top. Jealousy. Oh. There is someone in your field that I'm going to put it right in this moon because it's uncertain about who this is. You may have an inkling of who this is, someone who maybe pokes fun at your success, maybe someone who always seems to know when you're having a hard time and kind of always try to one up you when you're telling them about your good times. There is an energy out there that I don't want to say doesn't want to see you succeed. Maybe they don't. But maybe from an energetic standpoint, what you've gone through, what you've overcome, their strength of character, even if you feel like you still have a ways to go. There was someone out there who may not like the process of growth that you're going through because of the fact that they would have benefited from you not growing, you not instilling boundaries, you not stepping back and looking at your life and being like, hey, I want to speak this truth. I made this decision, and it's hard to tell this truth to everyone. Maybe you decided to endeavor upon a relationship or end a relationship or take a job out of state, like I was saying, or have that surgery. And there's always someone who got to say something. So there is an energy around you that may not want to see your growth, or I'm hearing that someone is saying, are you sure you want to do this? Is that what you really want to do? Do you think that's smart? That kind of thing. This is what I'm getting from that. What else does Spirit want us to know? This one wanted to come out, so I will take the one right on top, but I wanted to say first. And that is part and parcel for when the cat's out of the bag, when the floodgates come down, when you stand upon business and you say, this is my decision, this is what I'm doing, this is the relationship that I'm entering into, this is the relationship I'm leaving, this is the job that I'm taking 4 states over. There will always be people who will celebrate your decision, and there will always be people who have to naysay. This energy seems to be coming up, maybe because you seem to listen to this a little bit more than the people who are positively kind of, trying to prop you up. And that's no commentary on you as a person. For a long time, I have, not a great relationship with my mother, but I would let her strong opinions derail me from my path. And at some point, I realized that perhaps maybe, and she's got her own trauma and her own healing to do, and I wish her well on that. But I realized that part of why she was trying to keep me where I was is because it was where it was the most comfortable for me to be. And when I started growing and healing and moving past the parameters in which she's used to having me, it became uncomfortable, and it came out as naysaying, as a level of jealousy, almost like spiritual blocking. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but there might be someone in your energy, a mother figure or a divine feminine, or divine feminine in what's it called? A wounded divine feminine energy in your life. So it could be, a sibling, an auntie, a friend who's got some years on you that may be in your ear trying to naysay you, try to keep you from changing life because they're comfortable with where you're at, but you, collective, aren't comfortable where you're at. You want to grow. That's where the floodgates is. Maybe you've made this announcement to friends and family, and you're like, this is what I'm doing with my life, and I felt like I've needed to do this for a really long time, and now I'm doing it, and this is who I am. This is my most authentic self. This is how I'm going to, exist in the world, XYZ. And there's going to be people, like I said, who will celebrate your bravery, your honesty, your authentic self, and what you choose to do with your life, because it is your life. And there's always going to be people who don't want you to change because they are comfortable with where you're at and they're uncomfortable with your change. Healer. It is not lost on me that we have 2 eyes. 2 eyes here. We have an energy of people who are watching you out of discontent, that have judgments on you perhaps for this cat out of the bag situation. This, now everybody knows, whatever it is. There are going to be people who are going to, do that side eye being like, so that's what they're doing, or that's what's happened kind of thing. And then there's healing energy. where people who are celebrating how you're growing, how you're moving, that you made the right decision for yourself, whatever it is. And they support your healing growth. I'm also getting the very distinct feeling that there is quite literally a healing type energy around you. Someone who's always wanted you to grow and heal yourself. That has never passed judgments on your past, traumas, your past, maybe even misdeeds, addictions, behaviors. They realize that the human experience is not easy. It's a series of ups and downs, and they've always wanted you to heal because they saw in you goodness. They saw in you who you want to be, not who they want you to be. They can see who you want to be. They can see how you see yourself in a negative light and how you see yourself in a positive light. And they want to uplift you to continue your healing journey to actualize who you want to be and who you feel that you want to be. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. That's how it's coming in. All right, so let's keep going. Top of the deck. Fire sign. So we might be dealing with a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. I'm hearing that during Leo season or during the Lionsgate, which was on August 8th, this person may have come in and said something to you, collective. Maybe you had a conversation with someone. It doesn't have to be deep and serious, but something that a fire sign said, or maybe someone said something during Lionsgate 8/8, August 8th, that kind of like struck a chord in you, that helped you want to be truthful about who you are and what you do and how you're going to live your life. This person also I don't know why I'm getting Sagittarius energy so strongly right now. This person who you had this conversation with may have strong placements in this fire sign, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Stellium, Venus, Mars. Those planets I'm feeling specifically. Let's keep going. Oh, I was going to flip it over, but it decided to volunteer. We have nature spirits. Collective, it feels like you're the type of person that takes some solace and solitude in nature. Maybe you like to hike. Maybe you like to go to a river. Maybe... Yeah, for some reason I'm hearing hiking, rivers, lakes, and specifically, very specifically, the high desert at nighttime. So if that resonates with you, you may feel the way that you came to this decision to cats out of the bag, to let the floodgates down, to be your most authentic self, to say, here's the decision that I've made. This is what I'm going to do. I am proposing to this person, or I am breaking from this person, or I'm taking a job out of state. Any of those things, maybe I am kicking this habit, or I'm on a fitness journey, or I'm having the surgery, whatever it is, that the big decision to kind of stop hiding who you are, what you do. Because, again, I'm hearing it takes a lot of effort for you to hide and pretend rather than just being like, this is who I am. This is what I choose to do unapologetically. And that's it. It feels like that clarity was reached in one of these places in nature. If you don't find solace and solitude in nature, if you don't feel like you can relax and your mind is calm in nature, and maybe even you like to just sit outside in the early evening to just kind of decompress. Maybe you're a sky, what do you call them, a sky gazer, the ones who like stare at stars with telescopes and things like that. If that's not what you do, this may not be your reading, because this foundation part is what's building this reading. So if that part doesn't resonate with you, it might not be your reading. But we are going to go forward and see what else we have as a message. So, okay. So cat's out of the bag. There are people around you, collective, that don't want to see you succeed. There are people around you who support your journey, who believe what you're doing is deeply healing and authentic to you, and they support whatever you want to do that is healthy, that is purposeful, has honest and good intents that don't hurt you. Fire energy is very important here. Maybe you yourself have fire energy, or the person or the people around you have fire sign in them. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, or stellium. And lastly, you take solace in nature. Rivers, lakes, hiking, high desert at night. You're a stargazer, that sort of thing. So, what message does the universe and spirit want to tell this person, tell the collective? Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles, I'm feeling, is for this collective. Remember how I said with the premeditation cards, we had gotten Breach with the whale, which was, let me get the card again, which was the truth coming to the surface. And you know what? I'm being told just to go ahead and leave them out. Okay, so we're going to, oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't realize this. The last card that I pulled was Nature Spirit, and the last card I pulled from my premeditation was Desert. And I said you might take solace in high desert at nighttime, or stargaze, or any of that kind of thing. So I feel, for me, there's like some sort of synchronicity here. Desert specifically. Sorry, you can't see the word desert. Let me move these down a little bit. So nature, spirit, and desert. So there's, again, some sort of solace or relaxation or quieting of the mind or finding peace being in nature and being at times alone in nature. Although I feel like you're the type of person that would take someone hiking with you or take someone with you to the lake, to the river. But the desert specifically, I feel like that's a solitary activity, sitting at night outside in the desert looking at the stars. I don't know. So then we have the perception card was the third to last, and it coordinates with the fire sign. And remember I was saying this perception is you're changing how you're viewing things, rather than hiding yourself away or veiling yourself so people can't see your successes, or, being ashamed in places where you feel like you've not succeeded. It's changing your perception. Someone, this fire sign that I was talking about, someone that you spoke to, someone who delivered a message, whether or not, maybe you watched a tarot that gave you some perspective, that kind of, something you heard might have struck a chord, and is making you see things in a different way. Healing energy was coordinated color schemes with grounding. And interesting, I didn't even know why I didn't say this before, but in my dream, when I was carrying around this item, this package to be delivered at my work, and I was trying to leave, and everybody was like trying to distract me. And finally, at the end, where someone recognized that I was carrying a package, I recognized myself that I had like purple highlights in my hair. Now, in reality, I don't have like fun colors in my hair. My hair is just black. But in my dream, I had tons of purple highlights. So this may resonate with the collective in that you yourself may have fun colored hair, or know someone, the person that you might be connecting this reading to might have fun colored hair. Purple in my dream seemed to stick out for some reason. I kept thinking about it this morning, and I didn't even realize it till I put down the grounding card, which was the second pull, and the healer was the second pull, and look at that. They're both purple. So the people that are around you right now, maybe their favorite color is purple, maybe they have fun colored hair that's maybe purple. Something about purple, you might want to even look up what purple means for you. Maybe your birthstone is amethyst. Maybe you're born in February, or you know somebody who is a healer who was born in February. Birthstone is amethyst. It's purple. So anyways, getting off the purple train, this energy of healing or being a healer, having people around you supporting you to speak your truth, aligns with the grounding. The idea that this cat out of the bag, this information is now known, whatever it is, may feel like it's nerve-wracking, But in actuality, it is deeply grounding because you no longer have to hide. You no longer have to pretend. You no longer feel the need to veil your successes if it's a success. Or, there's no longer a need to feel shame over things that maybe you felt like you could have handled better or didn't actually succeed or work out in the way that you wanted to. That's okay. That is part of the human experience. We learn and we grow. And the people around you who are healers, amethyst, favorite colors, purple, they have purple hair, something with purple, is healing and grounding. Again, maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius because Aquarian February stone is amethyst. So, and the last card was the truth coming to the surface with the jealousy card. And this is I'm sorry I'm taking so long to get to this. I will get to this in just a second. But the jealousy card is like there are people who've always had eyes on you, that always I just was going to say micromanage, always micromanaging what you should do. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be specifically parental figures. Maybe if you're still friends with past lovers, maybe your past lovers are giving you advice because they are your friends. Maybe in this situation, they're still your friends, but they are wanting you to stay exactly where you are because they feel comfortable where you are. And the fact that this new truth has come to light, or that you want to make a decision, that you want to do X, Y, Z again, I won't repeat that part, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe they don't like that. Maybe they've been watching to see how you've changed. Maybe they feel like this decision has changed you intrinsically, and I'm just hearing, I don't even know who you are anymore. You're not even acting like yourself. So the breaching, this truth coming to light feels uncertain and chaotic because it is freeing for you to not have to hide this. But also there are going to be people who are going to push back on who you are, what you do, and what you decide. Now that we've got the premeditation cards out and the foundation cards out, let's get to this Nine of Pentacles. This makes me feel like right here, the whale and the breach card and the tree grounding, where I said it's deeply freeing and it's grounding because you no longer have to hide. The Nine of Pentacles tells me that this truth, this cat's out of the bag, floodgates open, will lead to abundance. That whatever this was that was living just below the surface, that was hidden, that was veiled, that was not spoken on due to fear or anxiety, or like people might perceive you as, arrogant, cocky, or full of themselves for loving their success or whatever. All of that hindered your abundance. But now that is free and you're living, not hiding, not stifling, not suppressing, not veiling, not out of shame, feeling like you have to hide your success. Now abundance is back on the table. Because here, oh my God, I'm hearing the universe wants to bring you in the abundance that you're owed, whether it's monetary, love, spirituality, just general life abundance. But it was waiting for you to be ready. And being ready isn't a feeling, it is an action. Being ready isn't a feeling. I don't think, I'm just going to say it, hot take. I don't think anyone ever really feels truly ready for anything. They've done as much preparation as they can, and they decide at some point to take action, and that's when they're ready. Because they've decided to take action. The universe is not waiting for you to feel ready. They're not waiting for you to hold on. I'm getting a very strong channel with this. I feel like the universe is not waiting for the right time. Just like you can't be ready, like you can't feel ready. You have to just be ready in the sense that you can't be fully 100% prepared for anything. You just take action, and that's what tells everybody, okay, I'm ready. I've got as much training, as much resources, as much learning as I possibly can, and I'm just going to take the step now. I don't know if it's going to pan out exactly the way that I want, but I'm taking the action. That's being ready. And the universe is not waiting for you to... I just had it. Hold on. The universe is not waiting for you for when you're ready. The universe is waiting for you to be the right version of yourself when you're ready, if that makes sense. So if you are waiting to feel ready for something, to take action, to take a job, to start a relationship, to end a relationship, to be a parent, to take a class, to, go forth in college, any of those big life-changing decisions. If you're waiting to feel ready, you may never feel ready. You hear it all the time. People talk about, like, you can prepare to be a parent, but you're never fully ready. But you're never 100% ready. You're ready when you say you're going to take the action. And that's the version that the universe is waiting for to bring in the abundance. They're waiting for the version of you collective that's not waiting to feel ready. The universe is waiting for you to be the version of yourself that says, I am ready because I'm taking action. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Because if you're in the feeling of, I want to wait till I feel ready, you may be in for a long, long wait, because there's always new things to learn. There's always new things to consider. There's always new things to weigh and check. And then there's people who are like, I have prepared as much as I can, as much as I feel that is needed, and I'm just going to put my faith in myself and take the action. That's being ready. And that's the version of you that the universe is waiting on to bring in this. Because if you're just waiting to feel ready, you're blocking your own abundance. You have to take action. Wow. Okay. All of that from just these few cards. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, there we go. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. This is stability at its best. This is someone, sorry, I didn't show you the card. This is stability at its best. This person is comfortable. They are confident. They're unperturbed. They are financially stable. Now, this could be just, they live a comfortable life. Not lavish, but comfortable. Or you could, it could mean quite a bit of money. But the point is, this energy is someone who is confident in themselves. King of Pentacles is some of the most grounded energy in the tarot. He's the king of being grounded. They're the king of putting roots into the ground and really seeing it grow. So again, this truth, this cat's out of the bag, this feeling that, now everybody knows my business, or everybody knows what, steps I've decided, or how I'm changing my life, or X, what, again, I already said the thing, you know what I'm talking about. But the feeling of the cat's out of the bag is just you not hiding. Now, you can go around telling everybody all your business, and, that's up to you. But this particular thing, whatever it is, it feels like a very specific aspect of your life that perhaps you've been hiding for a little bit. Maybe it's a struggle, maybe it's a want, maybe it's a desire, maybe it's a dream, whatever. Now that it's out, now that it's part of the general knowledge about who you are, that's when abundance can come in, when you stop hiding yourself away out of shame or embarrassment and just start, oh boy, I just heard, stop saying who you are and start being who you are. If you present yourself as like a cool, confident person who is unperturbed, but inside you're like anxious and worried, stop hiding. There are plenty of people in this world who go through the same kind of anxious feelings, and you are not alone in feeling times when you are fully grounded and times where you're feeling a little bit anxious. Wouldn't it be nice to just not worry about hiding and wearing a mask and just being your authentic self? And in being your authentic self and unapologetically yourself, you are bringing in your abundance because you stop blocking it by wearing this mask. You're bringing in abundance. You become more grounded when you accept yourself as you are. Faults, successes, and everything. It's a funny thing. I posted it on my Rabbit and Moon, where I can put in text posts, where it's like, it's funny, once we recognize, understand, and truly accept ourselves as we are, is the moment that we can actually make change within ourselves. let's keep going. Okay. Oh, we got the Tower moment. Whatever this truth that came out is or was, it was a hard truth. I do not see this being a forward-facing tower. I feel like this is something that has happened. Like this King of Pentacles is looking at this tower like, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that happened. And I survived it. And, I'm getting a lot of channels today. I'm also hearing that, like, there's some, I'm feeling very strongly in the collective. Some people are like, life is so hard. All this shit happens to me. Like, my relationships are hard. My work environments are hard. I can never take a break. Could never take a vacation. All of those things. I like having a low self opinion of myself. I must be broken. I might have something wrong with me. It's my fault. And I'm weak and XYZ, all these, negative self-talk, which I don't want anybody to do. But I understand it happens. But understand that when you feel weak or broken or unlucky or embarrassed or shameful because of the hard things that have happened in your life, understand that you watching this reading right now is you watching this reading, meaning you made it and survived through all of those times. The resiliency within you is astounding. Pat yourself on the back for how strong you are. Not everyone can live your life. Not everybody can walk your path. But you did, and you're surviving. There's resiliency in you. And that's one of the things about the King of Pentacles. Not only is he grounded, not only are they the most stable energy, but they are resilient. They have unwavering determination. And when those towers come in, that's not to say that they don't see it as hard and they don't endure it as hard and difficult, but they weather that storm and they persevere. So whatever truth came out may have been a hard truth. But and I'm hearing a long time coming. So again, it could be like maybe something you endured as a child. Maybe that tower moment is that vulnerability of really talking about what happened as a child in order to heal. And the people who are naysaying that are people who are like, oh, your life wasn't that hard. Well, it's not. We're not listening to them. Because they want us to stay in the energy that we are in when we're trying to grow and heal. Maybe this tower moment was the ending of a relationship, the loss of a job, the loss of a loved one. And you were hiding how that affected you. Maybe it was addiction. Maybe this was the journey through kicking a habit. But once that comes to light, once you're talking to a counselor, AA, talking to a therapist, your family about what happened to you as a kid. Or maybe it's simply that you just had a series of bad luck and you're just trying to smile through it like it doesn't affect you. I promise you it's freeing to just not hide. Tell people that you're having a hard time so they can be there for you. And then you can release some of that burden. Oh, we have two. Well, we'll just put that one over there. So we have Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about making a plan. Sorry, I keep knocking my ring on the table. Is making a plan. Once this truth, whatever it is, comes to light, you're removing an obstacle for your abundance. You're becoming more stable by being most authentically yourself. Whatever it is, whatever truth, whatever experience that you've veiled, that you've hidden, that you're ashamed of, that you're embarrassed of, starts to come to light and you yourself looking at it and recognizing, yes, I went through that. Yes, it was hard. And yes, I survived. And yes, I'm growing and healing. Grounds you and helps you on your healing journey. Now you make a plan about, okay, now that I've endured this hardship or this difficult, gritty time, and now that I've decided to share this experience with friend, family, or whoever. Or maybe it was hard to leave a job, or hard to tell your family that you're moving across the world. Now that the hard part is out of the way and you can stop hiding the truth of the matter, now I can start making a plan about what my life is going to look like going forward. Again, holding in this truth was blocking abundance. That's how I feel. And then we have the high priestess. Oh, I love it. This is trusting the path. This is trusting your intuition. And the truth that comes out and you feeling uncertain, like it's not by chance this truth came out. Whether or not you orchestrated it or somehow, it came upon the scene by other means. You are making the best of this situation. You are standing fast in your strength and your resiliency and saying, this is who I am. Highs, the lows, the good times, the bad times. This is who I am. I'm a human. I have a human experience. And by accepting yourself and loving yourself as you are more grounded. You are on the way to healing. You recognize the difficulties and you're like, I survived. Now I got to make a plan. Now I got to trust that I know what I want to do, how I want to live my life, what happiness means to me. What are my goals? What are my dreams? What are my desires? How can I achieve those things? And also, I feel like with the high priestess is a little bit of the archetype. The high priestess does not have an easy life. The high priestess energy knows darkness and light. And in that, perhaps, take it as it resonates. If it doesn't, don't do the mental gymnastics. But if you had a hard life growing up and you continue to have difficulties in your adulthood, but you wear a mask so that everyone sees you as fine, you are hiding away your darkness and showing people only the light of you. When we are balances of both, just look at nature all around us. We have night and day. We have dark and light. We have air and water, fire and earth, like all these opposite elements, masculine and feminine, up and down, right and left. We have balances in everything. So it makes sense that we as people have a balance of our inner world and our outer world, our private life and our public life, even our secret lives, our deepest parts of us. I was going to say darkest, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm associating it with bad. Dark is just private. And you have to balance out your inner world and your outer world. If you're constantly hiding and hiding and hiding your inner world, your feelings, your dreams, your hopes, your wants, your desires, then what you hide inside starts becoming triggers in the outside world. Once you accept yourself for who you are authentically in a balance, then you can really start making changes because you're not chastising yourself for the moments where you stumble, because if you fall, you just get back up. You don't stand there. It's like a child. If a child makes a mistake, you don't stand there and berate the child for falling down. You offer a hand and you help them up and say, okay, let's try again. Your inner world is like a child. Be kind to it. Make friends with it. This high priestess energy, though, is really speaking to me of now that this proverbial floodgate is open or the cat's out of the bag, it feels like you're really trusting in, like, you can say divine, your God, your deity, or just your inner moral compass to guide you in the right way. Oh, hold on. The card fell on the floor. Okay. Oh, we got 3 of Cups. This is reunion. This could be reunion in a lot of senses. This could be reunion with people that you love. Maybe past friends that you've lost touch with because maybe, I'm getting a very, very specific scenario. Maybe through hiding your struggles, hiding your decisions, hiding your successes, all of that was hard to hide and pretend to be something and adapt to other people so that they're comfortable while you're making yourself uncomfortable. That change, that gradual change over time has maybe put a distance between you and friends that loved you for your authentic self. And there's reunion, reconciliation, reconnection in this energy. Perhaps now you're reconnected with people that you love, that you've lost touch with, that you maybe we're a little bit estranged too. Maybe you're not talking anymore. This could be reconciliation of love, like romantic love. Maybe there was something between you and a person that didn't work out the first go, but now that this is all happening, now that the truth has come out, now that you're living your most authentic life, you are not living in a veiled mask wearing, you are just authentically yourself, accepting your successes and places where you stumbled and fell and fallen and got back up. Now that you're on this healing journey, you are in a position where you can reunite with someone that you love very much. And the connection could be even deeper this time because I'm hearing you both are healing. This could be reconnection with family for those same reasons, except for it's just not romantic. This is a beautiful energy of reconnection, of happiness, of joy, of celebration. And again, that has to do with this truth coming out. Whatever this truth is needs to come out. It was, like I said, the truth was not going to stay buried for long. The truth will always rise to the surface. It might take some time, but will always find its way to the top. And while it may make some people trepidatious, but for some it's freeing because they no longer have to hide. They don't have to pretend. Oh, there we go. Then we've got the 9 of Swords in reverse. No, oh my goodness, I love it. There was anxiety over here with the feeling like now that the truth is out, what am I going to do? How are people going to react? Are they going to look at me differently? Are they going to think I'm stuck up because I made the success? Are they going to think I'm a failure because, I felt shame and embarrassment about something that didn't work? Are they going to think that I am going to abandon them because I took a job out of state? All this worrying, constant worrying. Are they going to judge me? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to judge me? Regardless of the situation, the 9 of Swords in reverse is the end of that kind of circular thinking. Because, again, I cannot state how important this is. Once you accept yourself for who you are, across the board for every aspect of you, is when change and healing can really take place, and you can really step into your power, and you can really make a plan about how you want your life to go. Maybe your life plan after this truth comes out is like, you know what? My plan for life has always been so structured because I needed to control every aspect of it. I needed that to have some false sense of safety. But now I'm going to take it a day at a time. Congratulations, we made it through another day, one foot in front of the other. I'm going to let life guide me. I'm going to let spirit guide me. I'm going to let the stars guide me, your God, your deity, your inner moral compass guide me. And if you do that, if you really trust in that process, if you really trust your heart and your soul and what you really want and where you really think you should be, it will lead you to that reunion, that reconnection, that reconciliation. And you'll be ending nights of sleeplessness, stress, worry, unhappiness, tears, circle thinking. All of that is the fallout of wearing a mask, of pretending that you're okay, pretending that everything's fine, pretending so that other people can feel comfortable while you yourself are like in agony indoors, inside. I meant to say inside. But maybe indoors in the sense that once you get home, the mask can fall and then you feel all the feelings. And then once you step out the door, you just slap a mask back on. This is intense. This is an intense reading. I'm trying to figure out what oracle cards I want to end with. Give me a second while I figure that out. Okay, so the cards I'm going to use are called the Practical Self-Care Oracle cards because regardless of whether or not this is deeply about a love situation, whether or not, it's endeavoring upon a new relationship or ending an old relationship, or if it's job, moving out of town, if it's health, having a big surgery, whatever it is, I feel like the Practical Self-Care Oracles are gonna really kind of give us that extra little oomph for the end of the end of the read. So Okay, so let's get a couple of cards. What are some practical self-care messages that Spirit wants the collective to know? Okay, we've got 2, so we'll start over here. So we have declutter. And when I read these, I might channel into whatever it is, but I'm just going to try and read them and let them resonate with you as it resonates. I'll try not to involve myself, but if Spirit says I need to say a little thing, I will. Okay, so declutter. Let go of old items. Create a new sacred space for yourself. Okay, then we have change a bad habit. Kill a bad habit. Drinking, overeating, or anything else not serving you. Okay? Then we have glow up. Take a day to spoil yourself. Take a day to spoil yourself. If it makes you feel beautiful, then do it. If it makes you feel good, do it. Sorry. I just heard, have that ice cream. Get that massage. Okay. Let's get 2 more. Whoop. One just popped up in my face. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do better. Don't set limits on your potential. Yes. Yes, I love that. Love it. Any person who loves us, truly loves, I'm sorry, I have to say this, but any person who loves us, truly loves us, whether or not it's romantic, platonic, familial, will challenge us to grow because they see the best in us and they want us to see our own potential, to realize our own dreams. Some people will see that as pushy, but it's like, it's almost like saying, how dare you want me to achieve my dreams? Any person who truly loves you wants you to succeed and be the person you want yourself to be, you know yourself to be, and in deep level, you already feel that you're moving in that direction. They will challenge us to grow, to heal, and support us. Sorry, one more, and then we'll be all set for today. There we go. Last one is rediscover yourself. What are your interests? Are you hiding yourself to please others' version of you? Oh my God, that's literally what I was just saying. I'm going to put it right in the middle right here then. That is literally what I was saying this entire read. But the whole reason why you've been veiling, you've been holding back, you've been wearing a mask is to keep other people comfortable. But what about you, collective? What about you? This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel. And if you like how I read, if this connected with you in any way, or if you know someone that this message might resonate with them, please consider like, sharing, subscribing. I can't do any of this without you because I'm channeling direct from the collective. And I love all of you because some of these messages come in just are so strong, but so poignant that they end up in my dreams and I have to talk about them here. So again, this is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel and I will see you at the next read.